unless you make a bad choice.
Why do you have to make a bad choice?
Well, you don't have to.
You don't have to. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
So you'll make a good
Are you
choice.
nervous about it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Somebody said that they didn't want the volcano to go more than 100 years.
When we were shopping yesterday, a salesperson was talking about it.
that it hasn't erupted in.
No, that he was hoping that it wouldn't erupt again for another 100 years.
Oh, okay. Well, you know where you would think of running away from a lava flow, but for Hawaiians who live here, and when one of the mountains starts to erupt, they run to the lava flow because it's like an energy source. You know, they just it's really
Did
spectacular.
they die? Did they die?
Well, there have been some that died that got caught off guard as they were hiking across the desert area, and the volcano decided to erupt. And but you know what? Now, what's different now than back then is that the geologists and the volcanologists, those are the people that study the volcanoes, they have these monitors. They have this pretty good system around the island where they can detect the seismic activity, kind of like earthquakes. You probably felt some earthquakes, where, well, maybe.
Has a volcano blown since then?
Well, this one, not since 1984, so that was before you were born. This one is flowing right now, but it's slowly flowing down the mountain. It's not like a big eruption.
See, Maddie, this one over here. We're way over here.
Oh.
We're way over here, and this is. You know how long our car ride just was?
How long?
Well, no. Do you know how we were in the car for a while?
Yeah.
It would take that same amount of car ride to get from here all the way over to here.
Yeah, because
We're still pretty far away
we're
from
almost
this.
100
we
miles.
drove all the way from up here.
So we
50 miles
wouldn't
from
get...
Madison.
Nope.
We drove from all the way up here, all the way down to here.
And you'd still have to go from here all the way over
At
to here
least
to
as
get.
far as
You have
getting
like,
close.
that's the third volcano over from where you're staying. There's Hualalai, Mauna Loa, Kilauea. Mauna Kea, that's where the observatories are. That hasn't erupted in about 6,000 years. There goes Rick and Rose on the cave here. We have lots of spider webs over here,
She's got
and if there's any in the way, I see they cut a moth over there. But we had a wedding down here about a month ago, and it was beautiful. We had bougainvillea flowers spread all over here for the bride to walk on. It was really, really fun. It was our first cave wedding.
See, this is the top crust of what was
Hey, Madison.
I'll always be in front, and then as you're using your video camera, make sure though that you've stopped, because every step that you take in here, you want to make sure you're looking down, because it's going to be dark. There are lights, but you want to make sure that you're stepping on solid ground.
Okay. Just like when we walked at the beach, girls. That's when we stepped out on the rocks.
Just be careful when you want you to look
Now,
down.
before we go in, take a look at these layers of lava. That happens as the lava is cooling inside the tube. And out there where you're standing is a collapsed part of the tube in what was at one time a skylight. And it continued across the street. And then when they created the roads here in the 1960s, then they filled in, you know, they made the road straight, so if there was a cave in the way, they just filled it in. But, watch your step coming down here.
Watch your step.
You can hold on to
Jay, sit.
Stop for a second.
Okay.
Watch that big one.
I got it. Is she good?
That one step's bigger than the rest of them.
Yes, everything's uneven here. Like nature.
I'm right here, baby. You can come back up here
It's so
too.
dark.
Yes. Well, the farther in we go, I'll turn on some more lights, and then your eyes will adjust to the darkness a little bit. So, Hawaiians had a trail on top of this breakdown pile here when they would come into the cave. Do you have any idea why they would want to come in here? What they would do? These are considered resource caves. Pardon me?
Ritual?
Actually, these were very practical uses that they came into the cave.
Shelter?
Shelter near the entrances, temporary shelter from the wind and the rain, the storms that we get here, and then the midday sun.
Okay, are those all lava rocks?
Yes, they are. Here, Randy wants to get around you. So, the main purpose, besides temporary shelter here, was to collect water. So it hardly ever rains down here at this elevation. It seems like it might today, but sometimes it can be pouring up at the highway and nothing right here because we're in this deserty, barren area. So there isn't, and this lava is brand new, geologically speaking. Even 1,000 years is not very old. Not old enough for the lava to break down into soil and be able to hold water because the lava is still very porous. The rainwater seeps through the layers of lava. So we don't have any rivers or lakes or even ponds in this area out here. So Hawaiians were collecting the rainwater in here, the water that percolates through the lava, and they would bring gourds in. Do you know what a gourd is?
No.
Like a pumpkin. It's like a pumpkin that you hollow you scoop the inside out, and then they dry them out and then place them under the drips. Like over here, you can see wet spots over here. Those are drops of water. So imagine Hawaiians placing the gourds here, and they would collect water that way. It was their only water source in this area when it wasn't raining.
Oh.
I thought I saw a moving thing over there.
That's just a flashlight, hon.
Oh, this flashlight here? Was that this?
I thought I...
It's just a flashlight, sweetie, I think.
You might see a big dog shadow as Bert goes across there. Now, this is the part to not touch along the walls. If you want to touch something, you can touch the cinder that's on the ground, and anything on the ground you can. But these stalactites and minerals are fairly fragile, so we just prefer that
I can
you
see
don't
the
touch them.
red.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the red is from iron. As the water vapors are escaping, it causes the lava to oxidize in places, so there's a slight iron content. Now this is called remelt, the smooth brown stuff. And it happens as a result of the lava cooling in the final stages. It's actually, the heat is remelting the walls and the ceiling, and it's dripping until the cave cools. So imagine this was at one time red hot lava dripping here. And then as it cooled, it hardened and just stuck to the walls like that. Then over time, these secondary minerals, the white and yellow stuff on the walls, that happens as the rainwater drips through the lava. It draws these minerals out and they cling to the...
Thing.
Oh, good question. Any guesses?
Algae.
Moss?
Yes, yes, algae.
Kind of looks like cake batter, huh, girl?
Yes.
It does.
Yeah, it does. It looks
Sometimes
like...
we call this chocolate.
Frosting.
Oh, there you go.
It looks and smells like pottery
Chocolate.
clay.
Oh, yes, you're right. And you know something interesting is that a kiln is 2,000 degrees, and also a lava tube is 2,000 degrees. But a kiln will dry or will cool in a 24-hour period, and a lava tube takes up to 2 years to cool.
Wow, 2 years.
I was almost going to